8 from the day 5 in the trial of Lori Daybell. And boy, do we have some things to talk about today. There's been a lot going on, and this is moving really fast. As most of you probably already know by now, I'm not sure. I imagine the court camera probably kept on recording, or the pool feed kept on recording after the jury left, because they were talking about Lori's defense and whether or not she's going to present a defense after the jury left. And then she mentioned she wanted a Rule 20 hearing, and then they started going into the jury instructions. I don't know if they're still showing that or not. Anyway, let's start with hi Pammy. Let's start with the early news before court even started today. Happy Wednesday. This could be a very happy Wednesday. Hey everybody, welcome to chat, welcome to the channel. So the first thing this morning was, hey Brady, motions that she filed. She dated them the 9th, which was Monday, so I assume she went back to her jail cell and she wrote some love letters to Judge Boreski and Judge Green, and 2 different motions, one of them asking for Judge Green to recuse herself from the case, and one of them filing a motion to dismiss Judge Boreski and Judge Green for 10.1 violations. And I think somewhere in those documents, I've heard other people have read them, I have not had time to read them yet. She complained about not getting water in court, which is not true. She did complain about being dehydrated. I don't know if that's true or not. She didn't act dehydrated today that I could tell, but sometimes you can't tell. And I think she complained about Judge Boreski being mean to her. So I have to read those documents. We're definitely going to go over them. Depending on how long today goes, probably not today, but maybe we can fit them in at the end of the live tonight if today ends short, and it might. So what happened in court today? So we did see Detective Nick, or FBI agent Nicholas Balance, who is with the CAST team, which specializes in cellular analysis. So what we know from yesterday and the day before, various Gilbert detectives, that he was asked to assist with cellular data analysis of Lori's phone, Alex's phone, and Alex's burner phone. So we saw all that in evidence today, and he did a really good job of explaining how cellular towers work and how Google location data works. Hey, welcome in, Chrisanne. Welcome in. Thank you for becoming a member. So he prepared a report, and we went through all of the slides in his report piece by piece. He started out with, the basic details. Oh, by the way, the motions that were filed earlier have already been denied, because Judge Green is included in those. They were forwarded to Judge Kevin Wine, W-E-I-N, and he's already denied the motions just as quickly as Judge Green did the other ones. So I wonder if the next motion we're going to see is to get Judge Boreski and Judge Green and Judge Wine dismissed. I mean, that hearing that Judge Green had was like, 10-15 minutes long tops, and Lori is asking for her to be dismissed. I don't know. She doesn't like people who don't give her way, apparently. So Judge Wine is probably on that list now too. Detective Hermosillo is probably on that list. He probably was with the last trial, even before the last trial. Where do you come up with these questions? Am I a lawyer? Am I a cop? Am I Lebanese? Oh my goodness. Silly people. So, Nick Balance's report. He shows Google location data for Alex's main phone. And Alex's main phone is mostly either Alex's apartment or Lori's apartment or the storage units on October 2nd and October 3rd. Oh, maybe it was before that his phone, I think it was October 2nd it was October 1st his phone was at the storage units. And then again, I think on October 3rd, but of course we all know that Alex was back in Rexburg by October 3rd. But that was all Google location data. Jet flying overhead. All of the other phones, so Lori's phone and Alex's burner phone, the track phone from the Walmart in Idaho Falls, and were analyzed using Verizon location data from tower pings. So they all laid it out how that track phone went down to Gilbert on October 1st and got there in the evening of October 1st. Oh no, he didn't track it down because we don't see it. So we see it used in Rexburg on September 30th. An incoming call from Chad, I believe, or a number associated with Chad Daybell. And then the next time we see it used is all the way down just outside of Phoenix. So we don't see the location pings all the way from Rexburg to Gilbert, but we see them on both ends. And then we see it ping around Melanie Boudreau's house that night and the next morning. And then we see a ping next to Brandon's house. That's pretty solid evidence right there. On the stream, you guys are just now getting the jury sent out. Wow, I wonder what time it is. Okay. So they still have a couple minutes left of miscellaneous business. So yeah, we saw nobody's missing anything then of what I'm going over, just Nick Balance's report. And then we saw Lori's phone go to the storage unit with Chad's phone on the 2nd, and then back to the storage unit on the 3rd with Alex's phone. Hold on, I gotta reject this phone call. I gotta put that on Do Not Disturb while I'm doing my lives. And there wasn't a whole lot more after the report. I mean, it's pretty clear cut. Trina K laid it out point by point. Then Lori gets up and she actually crosses Agent Balance, and she gets confused by the difference in accuracy between Google location data and Verizon cellular tower data, and it's with the meters. She says, can you explain it to me with the meters? And he does. He's very patient with her. He does explain a lot of things to her. And in the end, I think he's going to be a good witness in the Brian Koberger case too. I mean, he's dueling witnesses with Sare, so it's going to be their testimony against each other. But I mean, it's all very scientific. He explained how cell signals work, kind of like a beam of light, where the further you get away from a tower, it kind of fades away. There's not like a direct line in the sand where that signal stops and starts connecting with that tower. A little bit later, he said it's basically halfway in between. Agent Balance, right? Right. He was very patient with her. So he explains in between the towers, like when you get about halfway in between is when the next tower up the line will pick you up. But that burner phone then pings southeast of Brandon's house immediately after the shooting. And then it pings all the way up, headed up north through Utah. And the last time it's used is on a phone call somewhere south of Salt Lake City in Utah. And then it's never used again. So that's what we got from Nick Balance on cross. Lori I don't know that she really scored any points with the jury. I guess we'll find out, and we're going to find out soon, because the state rested after Nick Balance was done, after cross and redirect. Agent Balance was done, and the state was done. And they rested, and judge let the jury out and asked Lori if she was going to present a defense, and she said no. So we'll have no defense. We'll go straight to jury instructions and then closing arguments. And then the jury will be sent out to deliberate. So depending on how long those things take, it could be the exact same scenario as last time, where the jury said, you know what, we're not going to hash over this. Well, I think what they did was they took a straw poll right away. They found out that there were a couple people who weren't convinced that she was guilty. So they're like, all right, we're not going to start deliberating this tonight. We're not going to go into the specifics. Let's come back fresh tomorrow. And then they took a little over an hour to convict her the next day and convince those two holdouts. So that may be what we see today. We could see a verdict today, and we could come back tomorrow and see a verdict tomorrow. So that's it for my update today. Look on my Twitter feed for live updates throughout the afternoon. I've been doing a better job of posting like almost minute by minute updates. Not quite. I'm not as fast a typer as Nate Eaton is, so I can't give you minute by minute, but I can give you some pretty good details. Okay, quick question. Somebody has a question. Oh, yeah, he's good looking. He is. As the FBI agent, handsome? I would say yes, handsome is a good word. And I'm comfortable saying that as a guy. Yeah, he's a good looking guy. She flirts with everybody, though. I mean, look at Chud. She flirted with him enough to unalive a whole bunch of kids and spouses. Yeah, that's right. You guys didn't get to see him. His face was, hopefully, the camera was pointed off to the side when he was speaking, something like that. I don't know how the cameraman handled it. I wasn't watching. And no, I'm not going to take a picture of him. He came in with a backpack into court, and he set it down next to the prosecution desk, but it was a loaded backpack. I don't know if he's got an undercover assignment that he's headed off to now, and that's why he couldn't show his face, because it might compromise one of his cases. So let's plan on meeting back up to talk about whatever happens this afternoon later tonight on my dual stream with Trial TV Live and the Squeegee of Justice. And we'll recap the entire day. And I'll try and look at those documents before then, but I doubt if I'm going to be able to. I doubt if I'll have time. So we'll look at them after then. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. But there's some craziness. It was all handwritten, and it looked like in pencil to me. It wasn't even pen. It looked like pencil. Like she's in her cell with notebook paper and a pencil, and she's writing these hate letters to Judge Brisk and Judge Green. It'll be interesting to dive into those. So thank you all for dropping in here. Thank you for the new memberships. I appreciate that. Welcome, new members. And if we go to tomorrow, look for a morning members only video that I take on the walk from the parking lot to the courthouse. So everybody take care. Have a great afternoon. Stay tuned.